365, shake my hand and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the Euro Swedish Corona, and I'm just looking at my chart here. I don't remember the last time I looked at this chart or when I marked up this chart, but we can see that price has become slightly aggressive on the supply. Right, so let's just jump right into it. I don't have any active trades in the Euro Swedish Corona for right now. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on, right? So let's start from the very beginning. But it's safe to say we can delete this zone because whatever was going on here is probably useless now. So maybe, sorry, let's understand it, right? So this yellow zone here is probably a reaction to what I thought would have been a semi-sell point at the back there, and more importantly, this bearish engulfing pattern right here, where price fed in very new bearish engulfing pattern. And then price fell into what period? This is so random. It's not. Price fell into a demand, right? The following month, right? This is a month to month. This is very, very massive time frames, month to month. So you gotta have the patience of a saint, really, and keep track of this stuff. So once again, this area here that you saw on the chart most likely marking this bearish engulfing pattern and the highest point, which is the week. Markets came in, fell for a whole month. You could have held that swing there. Bearish engulfing pattern, markets fall into a demand, so that's what stops price from going any lower. The markets keep going up. Eventually, this supply is broken. Just so we're clear, the supply no longer exists. This has been a long time since I even had a look at this asset. This is still valid because it's still going. In fact, it is the only reason why price is where it is right now. Just give me 2 seconds. There we go. Let's make this green, right? So that's a valid demand pushing price now. On the governing time frame, and this is, I guess, May 2022, and we're now in the month of May, by the way. So you can see April, May, right? So somewhere in here, something interesting is about to happen because bank moving 3 months take profit in a year in a 10-year span, right? And so this demand has successfully pushed price up deeply into this whole big yellow order block, and some people, and I don't blame them, would be very tempted to also include this creation of a demand because of the imbalance. And you can see that it's not just people, right? It's markets. Markets also agree, come back into this so-called new demand, get buy orders. Look at that beautiful long wick that is created, right? That's a hidden demand, right? Markets push back up, and then markets continue to the upside. A new bearish engulfing pattern has been created, but if we go by this bearish engulfing pattern or this bearish engulfing pattern, we can see that markets right now are of one mindset and one mindset only, which is to keep going up, right? So I don't know how much way these sell opportunities are going to go on. That being said, I don't think it's smart to be looking for buys inside this yellow zone as markets try and negotiate a governing supply, right? So this governing supply is this big because that's the type of area of value that we have in just tightening these things, right? So I guess we now know what analysis stands in front of us and why it worked out the way it worked out. I would have loved to be in this bias. Clearly, we missed out a little bit here on some good money, right? If you're in this bias, hit me up in the comment section and let me know. I would appreciate that. Right, so let's go back to the 12-month chart now to see what's cooking. What's cooking? Good looking, smelling nice tonight. My old man used to sing that song every time he walked into the house. To my mom. Yeah, right. Sorry, random. Let's find okay, so this is my trading chart, but it goes back until 2007. So let's just quickly find a broker that will give us better data to understand. And if my voice sounds weird, if I start coughing and sneezing, it seems like today is the day I'm finally going to succumb to the flu in this house. Everybody has been sick this whole holiday when our kids went home for the last month, and they're going to school on Wednesday, the 3rd of May, and all of a sudden They want to be sick for the second time by themselves, and this time they drag me with them. Yeah, have kids, they say, right? So this 1994, better data, price starting a little bit low, price break the major turning points, price comes down, creates a major turning point in 2012, and price is now back here. Well, this major turning point is supply. That's the question. So we don't have a supply here. There's nothing to wait for there. This used to be a supply. Markets are filled with the wick. Remember, I keep telling you guys that price will always fill the wick. Long wicks need to get filled because there's serious market inefficiencies and markets have gone past filling that wick. But what's going on here? I need to investigate here first, because if this is a supply, then sure, we can talk about selling. So we've got that situation here. Let's go at Kinihashi. We'll know if it's a supply based on where we believe the demand started. That's not useful information. Right, I don't have a demand here. I don't have a demand there. Then price creates its own V shape here. So let's say now we want to assess the validity of this turning point there. Right, it's going to be a very weak major turning point, right? Because we've got some type of an imbalance, definitely a continuation pattern. Then we get our first very clear, beautiful order block here. And you can see that's what markets use. Gotta love this stuff, man. Supply and demand. I don't know, bro. I don't know how much. I don't know. But this is clean. This is very clean. And when markets engulf here, the only thing that pushes them back up is a demand, right? Price moves back. Area of competition is this high, by the way. Even if you were to draw the body like this, if that's what made you happy, it wouldn't make sense because the whole area here is massive price. Right? I just like to keep my risks as low as possible sometimes, right? But this is what you have, right? So valid supply now that we've got a turning point, we've got a major turning point that is not a demand, right? Remember, link down below so you can actually know how to classify your areas of value, which impacts the trading rules you use, which will impact your profitability. So you need to know the different type of supplies and demand. There will be about 7 or 8, and the rules that come with areas of value, right? And then here at the last candlestick, which is a big part of my turning point, I only have 1, 2. So I don't really have a supply here. I just have another turning point. So I've got major turning points without the actual supply or demand. Then I've got a supply here, which is about to be completely eradicated or has been eradicated. And I've got a demand here from 2016, which was engaged in 2020, that is potentially pushing price up. So I'm leaning more towards a buy side on Euro Swedish krona. But I'm in an interesting part, which is why on the monthly time frame you can see price keeps trying to facilitate its own supplies, right? Its own supplies, because there isn't sequence alignment of higher time frames. Look at its own supplies, trying its best to create its own supplies. Here we go again, its own supply, right? Because the more you have this on the month to month, the more you're going to create on the 3 months. Why? Price is fractality. So look at this, because every single monthly supply fails. Look at this. You fail, because this 2020 long week candlestick, which is in touch with this cluster of the demand on the 1 year time frame, the only demand that we see that's valid and moving on the chart. It's pushing price up for the last 2 to 3 years from 2020 to 2023. If we look on the 3 months chart, all you see is bullish momentum. Look at that. All those 1 month supplies, none of them are worth it. And I've just got parabolic price all the way to the upside. Literally, from the time markets made contact with the 2020 1 year demand, right? Valid demand pushing price up, and that could be the game changer. Now, if I adjust my supply to the 3 months chart here, and I remove my area of competition, which is very useless because anyways, markets have really fed into this zone and now coming back up. You can see, right, that, by end of this year, we might have cleared this zone, right? Price is quite parabolic. Price really is very, very parabolic. And so on the 3 months time frame, we'll go back to the 1 year, but on the 3 months time frame, we can actually start to map out a new type of demand that's been formed. Very clean imbalance rules have been applied here, very clean imbalance rules. So we want to see this. This is how price moves, and we want to be a part of that. We might not be able to catch a perfect sale. Oh, we're going to create a demand shock into a supply shock. we're going to come back into that demand sharp and then move up sharp. So at some point, we might move a little bit higher to go higher than the previous high, but we're always going to come back into a demand sharp. When we come back into this demand, this is going to create a higher low, but we want this higher low higher than which low? Than the previous low. Awesome. So this is already kind of like mapped out into Euro Swedish Krona. It's mapped out there. It's right in front of us. But we need to first wait for this pop to happen, right? Price must first pop up. Number one, we need to accept the fact that markets are a little bit too parabolic, right? So we need some consolidation, some slowing down, some type of retracement to happen. And a better retracement is one where they first remove the supply, then price comes down. How long will this take? Well, to be honest with you, probably this is the drama of 2023, right? This is the drama of 2023 into 2024 and to 2025, unless you get like such massive size candlesticks. You know, at least if you get 1 or 2 financial quarters with very big size candlesticks like that, then you know you cut off that trading time by a little bit, right? So if you get, imagine if you get 2 or 3 candlesticks rushing to the downside, right? So that will really, you know, chop things up real quick. But if you get average size candlesticks, remember every single candlestick you're looking at here represents 3 months of trading. It's going to take a little bit of time, right? But right now where we at is it's very, very, very risky to buy right now. And at any point in time, the rules of justice will turn to the sell side. We just want to see the supply being open, right? You want to see it open so that price can come back. And what I've just drawn is what it looks like on the 1-year chart, just so you see for yourselves. What I've just drawn looks like this. And if we come here now on the 1-year chart, you can see as price creates bearish engulfing pattern, when this bearish engulfing pattern gets removed, registered students, when this bearish engulfing pattern gets officially removed, this is just going to become a 365 candle. And so now we're just going to need the imbalance. You see this thing here? You see this? How price goes up there? Like I said, so we're going to need the 2023 candlestick to close on the 1-year chart, and maybe even 2024, and then price will come back. When you have an imbalance, this area of value here that's already a valid 3-month demand will create a valid 1-year demand. And as you can see, it only takes 1 year sometimes for price to quickly remove 1, 2, 3, 4. The gains of 4 years were wiped out by 1 candlestick. All right, it's actually when we sell fast. Look at all the consolidation that happened in price here. Look at all this crazy consolidation, right? Literally for give or take 13 months, 14, 15 years. Right, so 15 years markets were consolidating and then shot up to the upside. That was removed by 1, 2, 3. 3 years of selling, sold all of this, and price shot up, right? So be patient, it's coming. The monthly time frame, just one more time. As markets create these supplies that are going to fail and markets bounce up, etc., we can expect markets to make their way up in a very safe way, right? So what I like about the build up to break the supply is buyers are building structures, right? CPs, consolidations, PCPs, you know, creating lower demands, demand there, breaking the supply. Price is going to consolidate. After 3 months, you're going to see there's going to be another demand there. Markets are making sure that if price goes to fall, something is there to catch. It's not just going to drastically fall fast without us being able to catch the fall, right? And this is actually potentially another governing demand just on top of a 3-month demand, etc. Right, clean imbalance in place. So this is not surprising. This will not be surprising. Those of you looking for a play in the shorter term in 2023, look after stuff like that. On the weekly time frame, you can see for yourselves valid weekly demands being formed, valid weekly demands being formed. Sorry for the mess. Valid weekly demands being formed. Right, so there's many places where you'll be able to catch price movement. These are all swings, right? You can swing from weekly demand to weekly supply, right, up until you're done. You can swing from weekly demand to weekly supply. On the daily time frame, looking at active trading, remember the daily time frame, as much as it is my favorite time frame to enter for swing positions, I am not crazy, and by that I mean hardly ever buy inside a governing supply. Despite the fact that my thesis is price will break that supply, we have been quite clear that could happen in 2024, it could happen at the end of this year, all right? So unfortunately, anything in the yellow zone will not be me buying. If anything in the yellow zone, I might want to start looking for some sells. but I'll definitely not be buying within the yellow zone, right? You can draw a psychological trend line if you'd like I'm doing right now, to keep track of the big grade fall. Once you see a big grade fall, you're going to have to look left to see if there was a fresh daily area of supply in control, because you might find what we like to call the true sell. There's always a true sell order block. It's a peak supply. We teach this in our module too. If you find a peak supply that's fresh, that can break price out of this psychological line. Why is it psychological? Because retail traders keep hitting this area and buy. This becomes a very strong liquidity mark, right? Why is this liquidity? Well, how are you buying inside a supply, right? You're going to pay the price. You're going to pay the price. Someone's going to pay the price, right? So you can start off here on the left side. We've got a high wick here. Sorry for the few symptoms and blah, blah, blah. Right, so this is very ugly. Yeah, it's there, but it's so ugly. It's not a peak supply that I want. All that indecision, long wicks mean there was buying and selling, there was a serious war until markets decided to almost create an equilibrium. Like the doji candle represents indecision. It's a state of equilibrium. Buyers and sellers are all equal. You don't make money in a state of equilibrium. You make money in a state of disequilibrium, where money is hung, to one side more of selling than buying, or more of buying than selling, right? Come on, man. There we go. Right, so I'm looking for a peak supply here on Euro-Swiss franc. Peak. So this is where price is right now. You see this? And then there's that weird structure that I just said I'm going to ignore. Then if I zoom in a little bit, this is what I'm interested in. So I'm going to adjust an entire monthly demand and summarize it into one main daily supply. There. Clean imbalance to the downside, and it's probably fresh. What do I mean by fresh? Price is not even right there. Right, so now I've got a fresh supply. Really, for me, this would make more sense in the short term, 2023, for trading. It would make more sense in the short term to take a sell in this yellow, the whole zone here that was yellow, than take any buys. And if price keeps climbing up this trend line, I'm trying to make sure I get as many touches as possible, right? I could do it like this, but that's a bit more, it's a bit ugly. So just a trend line, it's not a big deal, right? So if we can get movement up this trend line, as that governing supply fails, one more of these into this zone, this might happen. And if that happens, that's beautiful, right? So there are going to be two types of supply and demand traders. I'm going to set and forget, accept the risks right there. Excuse me, I need to stop recording. I'm getting sick, I can tell. Right, so I'm going to accept the risks right there. Right, and if my stop loss gets hit, that's fine. And then there's another type of supply and demand who wants to wait for confirmation. So first wait for this area to be clear, see if price will break, and then the price will guarantee you, as it's breaking long-term swing, create a new area of value there, a breaker or something is going to happen somewhere here, and that's what they want. So this is what you call a confirmation trade, where you see clearly that price is holding there, then you just need a fresh supply and you get a confirmation trade going. Well, because we're all the way up here and our main demands are all the way down there. This is that monthly demand, this one here. I'm going to give it a red boundary. So you see, I want you to see how interconnected this stuff is. I mean, my students, registered students know we talk about this in our 4 lectures called multiple time frame analysis that are already up on the left side. You can check those out there. But check how interconnected the stuff is. So you're looking for the red boundary demand, right? This is the demand that I was telling you guys about. There it is there, the lower demand, this red boundary demand area. If you go to 3 months time frame, there it is there. Imbalance, it's the only one. If you go to the 1 year time frame, I say it's the one that's going to get created after markets do what? Clear this bearish engulfing pattern. This becomes a 365 candle, then you get an imbalance flowing. This is what you're looking for. So this could be a long, beautiful swing trade on the daily time frame to the downside. If price plays out this way, if it doesn't, then you will see the opposite. Price will break the supply, which will mean we're going higher. And if that's what happens, and if I do sit and forget here, I might get a stop loss hunt, but at least now I know that this is even a potential, or still wait for a lower buy, which is what price does overall. In the long term, longer term structure, this is what always wins. Hope this video helped you. Please don't forget to like, share, comment. I'm doing some of these videos technically sick, but yeah, there's a lot of work that we need to do, and I'm glad to be the one doing it. If you're looking for a community of traders to belong to, then make 365 Trading Academy your home by hitting the link down below. Take care. Peace.